Our next speaker will be Ram Kamathji. Ram Kamath is the founder of Vsoft Infoware Inc. In the community, Vsoft has been awarded the Donor of the Decade for 2001 to 2011 by Ekal Vidyalaya Foundation of USA, an organization dedicated to education of underprivileged children in tribal and remote areas of India. In 1976, he went to jail as a student activist protesting against dictatorship by Indira Gandhi during the time of emergency. Please join me in welcoming Ramji to the stage.
Hello? Hello? Okay. Thank you, Saraswati ji, for inviting me and giving me an opportunity to speak here. Kataria ji asked a very important question. Why are those two people here? I think I have an explanation. You know, when a circus is going on, you need clowns. Otherwise, there is no fun in the circus. So that's why, we should take it, we should have a reasonable explanation. What is going on here and why they are here? Kataria ji, did you get the answer? Yes. Dear fellow believers of truth, today we have gathered here to protest attempted murder of free speech in this country. I am deeply saddened, just as many of our community members, to see that an Ivy League institution has been misused as fertile ground for curbing freedom of speech. As an American who supports free speech, I would first like to thank Wharton India Economic Forum for considering inviting one of the greatest leaders of our times, 3 times Chief Minister of 50 million people of a democratic state and intellectual base of India, Gujarat, where not only did Lord Krishna make his permanent abode after migrating from Mathura, but also where recent mass leaders like Mahatma Gandhi ji and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel were born. And that is Time magazine recognized Guru of good governance, Mr. Narendra Modi. This protest is not just about Narendra Modi or free speech. Remember, when I was a child, my grandmother told me never to tell a lie. My family members inspired me to stand up to truth and take it head on. They say that evil flourishes because good people do nothing about it. I come from a family that did something about it over the last 100 years, participating in the liberation of Goa from the colonial Portuguese. I don't know how many of you are aware. I came across a similar situation in my early life as a student activist in 12th grade in 1976, when a dictatorial regime in India declared emergency with good intention, but later misused it to establish dynastic rule. This is how the phenomena takes place in the initial stages. One of the first things that evil regime did was to curb free speech. More than 4 people were not allowed to assemble freely and make public speech against the government in a democratic land of over 700 million people. Later on, censorship was imposed on press. Anything that was published in the newspaper had to be approved by the government censorship board. Those that did not sing paeans, that is song for the dictator, were jailed, tortured, and some were even killed in state of Kerala. So, my dear friends, this is not the first time we are fighting for free speech, at least not me. Thus, this is not the first time I see the truth becoming casualty in an attempted murder of free speech. Then and now the difference is, I am seeing this happening in an Ivy League institution. Can you imagine? This is not a high school or an elementary school. This is an Ivy League institution. In one of the most powerful democracies. It is not a banana republic. I once thought that Ivy Leagues educate students based on facts, truth, and complete truth, and do not provide encouragement to those spreading canards, hate, and make a living out of it. But when I saw another Ivy League, Columbia University, providing all the amenities to the leader of Iranian regime, who has vowed to raise Tel Aviv to ground and remove Israel from map of this earth, I woke up. There were all kinds of protests against the use of taxpayers' money on a leader who hates this country so much. But I resolved that this country is the land of free speech and truth. That Ivy League stood its ground. That Ivy League stood its ground despite all protests and allowed the hater of this country to speak. When I saw another Ivy League making decisions based on hearsay, not based on facts, about Narendra Modi and attempting to murder of free speech, I again got up to see that was really happening. Friends, I have enough things to do in my life, and I too can watch evil flourish just as many do. To my surprise, I see that this country is not so much threatened by hard-working illegal immigrants, but more by a handful of armchair academicians perpetrating lie and cultivating liars. And let me tell you what this biggest lie is. The biggest lie is that Narendra Modi is responsible for Godhra riots. India Supreme Court, not an ordinary silly court. This is a country of 1.2 billion people, and there's a Supreme Court that too not favorable to the leader Narendra Modi, has not endorsed this lie. Despite many attempts in last 10 years, not one or two, many attempts. 50 million people of Gujarat. Now there is also a judiciary process, there is a electorate process. In both the process he has won hands down. 50 million people of Gujarat have rejected this lie 3 times over last 10 years. Trashed it to find its way to Wharton. That trash has come to Wharton now. People of India, especially the youth, are looking at him as their role model because of his honesty, hard work for the people, integrity, intelligence, and the leadership unseen in modern times in the world. Such lies as those about Narendra Modi have been told many times in the past. About 5,000 years ago in Mahabharata, there was a character Shishupal. I have been told to cut short. That's fine. Give me 2 more minutes. He came up with every kind of lies and make-believe stories. But when he told the 100th lie, we all know what his fate was. Remember, go back to the history and see Shishupal, what happened to him. Forget about the old history. In the last century, we have seen how Goebbels, Hitler's propaganda minister, used media to tell lies on a belief that if you tell a lie about 1,000 times, it will make people believe for times immemorial. This is the propaganda minister of Hitler. We know what happened to Hitler and Goebbels for doing that propaganda. The lesson learned here is that lies about Narendra Modi will not survive. Truth alone triumphs. Enough is enough. Stop telling lies about Narendra Modi and Godhra riots right now and encourage free speech and truth. People of Gujarat with a population almost double that of Canada elected him 3 times for his contribution to good governance. Time magazine put him on the cover page saying that Modi means business. It makes me wonder why Wharton, known for its business school, could not see truth and fell victim to false propaganda of holding him responsible for Godhra riots, which actually started due to burning of 45 Hindus by terrorists. This was well planned according to the documentation available. I have a publication here by renowned lawyer of India, Sri Ram Jethmalani. All those who care for truth, please read this before jumping into conclusions. Suppressing truth and curbing of free speech leads to huge loss of opportunities. And I want to use 1 more minute to tell you, this is an important message. This reminds me of Swami Vivekananda, who came to this country towards the turn of 19th century and gave simple lessons on love, peace, yoga and dharma, as a result of which we have about 30 million people in this country benefiting, who have realized the value of meditation, vegetarianism and yoga. That is more valuable than health insurance that any agency can give you. This is the result of free speech. Swami Vivekananda's original name is also Narendra. He became famous after his visit to this country and his Chicago address. He addressed it on 9/11 in the year 1893. Vivekananda's 150th anniversary is celebrated all across the country. He came at a time when India was under colonial rule of British and asked people to give muscles of iron, nerves of steel in inside which Delphi mind of thunderbolt is made. He also said that truth, purity and unselfishness. Armed with this, one can face whole universe in opposition, not just one university. Today we are standing in Philadelphia to loudly protest cancellation of invitation to this great leader of modern times, especially when corruption and terrorism is being worshipped. Now cutting short some of my speech, I want to jump directly to the last paragraph. I thank the audience for patience and closing remarks by humbly saying that what Vivekananda said. This is not the end of it. My dear friends, arise, awake and stop not until the goal is reached. The goal is happiness and peace everywhere based on truth, purity and unselfishness. If this is compromised, there is no point in having democracy, there is no point in having free speech. As American for free speech, I am delighted to be part of this process. God bless America. Jai Hind.